Dobry wieczór wszystkim, how are you guys doing today? I'm Mysticle and I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. In today's video, we've got quite a few pieces of information, especially since v66 has actually started rolling out in its PTC variant to quite a few people. So, as usual, we've got chapters down below to skip to any specific part of the video that you might be most interested in, and with that being said, let's get right into the video. So, the first really cool thing in v66 that we briefly talked about in a previous video is Luna finding wrist buttons. Now, Luna has found these wrist buttons inside the code in the past, however, it seems that now they are actually available to be used. They don't work in absolutely everything just yet, but they are under experimental features. So let me read you the extract from X. MetaQuest OS v66 PTC wrist buttons experimental feature. The left menu button doesn't seem to work in apps yet, or I just need to restart my headset, because gestures can be used by apps. You know, these gestures that we're used to, I mean, changing them could also be a bad thing because so many people have gotten used to them, but now if we place those controller buttons on our wrists right here, not only do I think that's going to be really intuitive, but also you leave those gestures open to any apps that might want to use them. It also reduces false positives, where in some apps you might be doing a similar gesture and it might launch the menu. I have had that happen in the past. So it's really interesting to see them experimenting with this feature, and I think it could be a great one for augmented reality when they do start implementing that 100%. And talking about them implementing augmented reality 100%, they are also consistently improving that, as inside v66, in desktop mode, the window movement bar is now animated, similar to how the dock is animated, and also similar to how Vision OS is. So that's really interesting to see. We have been seeing these tiny little refinements inside Meta's software throughout the last few update releases. However, they are working on a major software overhaul. We have been told that before, but we don't know when it will come out. So for now, we seem to be getting these minor little refinements that will probably be part of a larger picture. Plus, these do make the whole experience feel a bit more whole. Now, here is a very interesting one. We all know that Meta doesn't actually allow us to install third-party applications and software on our Quest devices. We also have very limited access when it comes to files on the device. But in v66, Luna has seemingly found strings that relate to a downloads folder. More strings that suggest work on adding a downloads folder to app library in MetaQuest OS v66. Now, I have no idea whether this means that we will be allowed to install third-party apps. In fact, I heavily doubt it, but I do also struggle to find a different use case for a downloads folder. We already have a Files app that allows us access to photos, videos, and other things that we may have downloaded. However, that app doesn't actually allow us access to APK files, or at least installing them. So could this possibly just be an easier way to access those downloads, or are we going to be able to do a little bit more with it? With Meta opening up their ecosystem and actually wanting the Play Store on it, this is also a possibility. We can see a library tab downloads empty list subtitled text. Your active downloads, available updates, and recently downloaded content from your library will be displayed here. Then we have no downloads. We have resume all, so that's interesting. Downloading, queued, installing, updated, and unknown sources. So it seems unknown sources might be moved to a downloads tab or a downloads folder. Previously, we talked about Immersed actually allowing multiple monitor support on the Apple Vision Pro, but just as I released that video, Virtual Desktop actually released a beta version of their software allowing you to have multiple monitors set up inside Virtual Desktop. Until now, you could only use a single monitor with Virtual Desktop, even if you had more connected to your computer. Now, that will no longer be the case, as Virtual Desktop has added beta support for multiple monitors. So those of you that really love productivity will finally be able to use the rest of your monitors inside Virtual Desktop. For now, to enable this, you will need to join the beta branch. This is super simple. Open up the Oculus Virtual Desktop page inside the web browser and just switch to beta right down here. Then update the app through your Quest if it hasn't done so already, and you should have access to the latest beta features. This is something that was heavily anticipated in Virtual Desktop for like the longest time now, and what makes this even cooler is the fact that on Windows you can actually create virtual monitors, meaning you don't even need to have these monitors IRL. Now, this does have a limit of 3 monitors on the Quest 3, 2 monitors on the Quest 2, and only 1 monitor on the Quest 1, as shown here in the announcement. And it kind of brings us closer to that future where we can have tons and tons of monitors just floating around the place inside virtual reality, inside augmented reality, and I know a ton of people that will definitely be using this one. As a matter of fact, I saw a ton of you guys excited for this one in the comment section of the previous video. One that I'm personally excited for is LG jumping more into the VR space. LG is a major manufacturer of displays, and now LG unveils 4K Micro-OLED display for next generation headsets that supports eliminated motion blur. Now, I personally don't actually notice motion blur as much inside virtual reality, but I do know that those that do notice it, it can actually cause motion sickness. So the more we can eliminate of this, the better. At SID Display Week 2024, LG Display unveiled a Micro-OLED display with 4K resolution and 10,000 nit brightness. Micro-OLED displays are manufactured with a very different process to regular OLED and offer much higher pixel density than any existing production-ready display technology. This enables ultra-high resolution headsets with relatively slim designs, and of course, OLED's signature infinite contrast, because of course, black on OLED is actually black. If you guys ever tried to display black on an LCD display, you will notice that the backlight is still on. On an OLED display, say my always-on display, all these pixels around here are actually off. It's only these pixels that are on. Therefore, lower power consumption and much better blacks. Well, true blacks, actually, which is why I use my Quest 1 for watching movies sometimes. Currently, 2.5K Micro-OLED displays from Chinese startup Sia Technology are used in the big screen beyond, and 3.7K Micro-OLED displays from Sony are used in the Apple Vision Pro. While Sony's display in the Vision Pro reportedly outputs a brightness of 5,000 nits, LG is claiming up to 10,000 nits of brightness. If you're currently wondering why on earth would anyone want or need to display that bright near the eyes, there's something very important to understand. Pancake lenses, which are used in most recent headsets to achieve a slimmer design and needed to magnify the smallest displays to an acceptable field of view, have extremely poor optical efficiency. That means the majority of the light passing through them is lost, significantly reducing the viewed brightness. For the Apple Vision Pro's lenses, the loss is on the order of 90%. Worse, to avoid motion blur, all VR-style headsets displays intentionally only illuminate for a fraction of each frame, known as a duty cycle, remaining pitch dark the rest of the frame, and with OLED displays this makes the effective brightness even lower. So bumping up that brightness should help reduce motion blur and just overall make the displays seem a lot brighter because of those pancake displays. Really fantastic, and I can't wait to see more of what LG has to show in the VR market, especially now with all of these new headsets that will supposedly be coming up. Talking about new headsets, Google teases multimodal AI smart glasses with a hood at I/O 2024. Google showed a brief demo of AI smart glasses with a hood at I/O 2024. The pre-recorded demo was shown as part of Google's announcement of Project Astra, an in-development, real-time, natively multimodal AI assistant that can remember and reason everything it sees and hears, as opposed to current multimodal AI systems which capture an image on demand when asked about what they see. Google says Astra works by continuously encoding video frames, combining the video and speech input into a timeline of events, and caching its information for effective recall. The Project Astra demo starts on a smartphone, but halfway through the user picks up and puts on a thick pair of glasses. It's really impressive, but a lot of people will also say it's heavily invasive. I guess it just sort of depends who you are, because to a lot of those people, other people are going to say, well, you already have a smartphone. That's pretty much invasive already. So I mean, myself, personally, I'm really excited for stuff like this. I do understand the privacy aspects and why people might be worried about the privacy aspects of something like this. However, I do think it's really cool, and I will probably be buying it if it is something that I can afford. I've always been super excited about the future of augmented reality and being able to walk around. I still remember the Google Glass advert from back in the day of, being able to walk around and having AR navigation show up right there in front of you and things like that. It just seems really cool to me. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. If you liked it, please do leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess that works too. But let me know why down below. If you guys are not yet part of our community, check out our Discord and over there down below where I want to see you posting your spicy memes. And thank you so much to all the Patreons supporting this channel. You guys are amazing. Seriously, thank you so much for your support, and thank you to anyone else who supports the channel in any way, shape, or form. Seriously, it means a lot. And as usual, if you want to be notified of future content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that scrolling with your word, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.
To jest to coś.
Tak.
Tak.
Tack, tak.
Na uczucie. Tack.